Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Yende. Today, I want to talk about a health crisis that does not show up in blood tests. It does not appear on an MRI scan. There is no pill specifically designed to cure it, and yet it may be affecting hundreds of millions of people around the world: loneliness. Recent global surveys suggest that India, a nation often associated with large families, close-knit communities, and multi-generational households, is now being described as one of the loneliest countries in the world. At first glance, that seems impossible. How can a country of over 1.4 billion people be lonely? How can loneliness exist in homes with grandparents, parents, children, cousins, relatives, and neighbors all living nearby? How can someone be surrounded by people and still feel alone? The answer reveals something profound about human biology, and perhaps something even more important about modern society, because loneliness is not the absence of people. Loneliness is the absence of meaningful connection. Let's start with a common misconception. Most people think loneliness means physical isolation, living alone, having very few friends, limited social interaction. But modern psychology and neuroscience tell a different story. Loneliness is subjective. You can live alone and feel deeply connected, or live in a crowded household and feel invisible. What matters is not how many people are around you. What matters is whether you feel understood, valued, seen, heard, and emotionally safe. The human brain evolved not merely for social contact, but for social belonging. This distinction is critical, because loneliness is not just an emotional experience, it is a biological event. When the brain perceives social disconnection, it activates many of the same neural circuits involved in physical danger. Think about that. Your brain often interprets social isolation as a survival threat. For most of human history, being excluded from the tribe could mean death. No protection, no resources, no support. Evolution therefore built powerful alarm systems to keep us connected, and those systems remain active today. Researchers have repeatedly shown that chronic loneliness is associated with increased stress hormones such as cortisol, higher inflammation, poorer sleep quality, reduced immune function, higher cardiovascular risk, depression, anxiety, and even increased mortality. In some studies, chronic loneliness appears as harmful to long-term health as many traditional risk factors, which means loneliness is not simply a feeling, it is a physiological state. Now let's talk about India, because India's situation is especially fascinating. For generations, Indian society was organized around families, joint households, shared meals, neighborhood communities, religious gatherings, social rituals, multiple generations under one roof. Historically, this structure provided emotional support systems that protected mental well-being. But something is changing. Rapid urbanization, economic pressure, long work hours, migration, technology, social media, and shifting family dynamics are reshaping how people interact. People are physically together, but psychologically elsewhere. Think about a modern family dinner. 10 years ago, conversation might have filled the room. Stories, arguments, jokes, advice. Today, many families sit together while staring at separate screens, each person connected to thousands of strangers online, yet disconnected from the people sitting 3 feet away. We have achieved unprecedented digital connectivity, while simultaneously experiencing unprecedented emotional fragmentation. This is one of the great paradoxes of the digital age. Never before have humans been so connected technologically, and never before have so many reported feeling emotionally disconnected. Social media provides visibility, not necessarily intimacy. Likes are not relationships, followers are not friendships, views are not belonging. The brain knows the difference, and that difference matters. Neuroscientists studying loneliness have discovered something remarkable. The brain processes social pain using many of the same networks involved in physical pain. Being rejected, ignored, excluded, or emotionally neglected can activate neural pathways remarkably similar to physical injury. The brain treats social connection as a biological necessity, not a luxury, not an optional bonus, a necessity, just like sleep, nutrition, and safety. Now let's consider another modern phenomenon: performance culture. Many people spend years optimizing careers, income, fitness, productivity, education, achievements, yet neglect relationships. And here's the irony: many eventually reach their goals only to discover they have nobody meaningful with whom to share them. The brain evolved to pursue connection, not merely accomplishment. And when connection is absent, success alone often fails to create fulfillment. This brings us to a concept known as social nutrition. Just as the body requires nutrients, the brain requires social nutrients. Trust, affection, conversation, touch, shared experiences, laughter, meaning, purpose. Without these ingredients, psychological health begins to deteriorate, even if everything else appears successful. Now let's talk about wearables, because here at OXYZEN, we are fascinated by how emotional experiences become biological signals. Loneliness leaves fingerprints on physiology: poor sleep, Elevated resting heart rate, reduced heart rate variability, higher stress markers, disrupted recovery. The body often reveals what the mind is struggling to express, and increasingly wearable technology allows us to observe these patterns, not to diagnose loneliness, but to understand its physiological consequences. What is the solution? The answer is not simply spending more time around people. The answer is building deeper relationships. One genuine conversation may be more powerful than 100 social media interactions. One trusted friend may be more valuable than 1,000 followers. 1 hour of meaningful connection may provide more emotional nourishment than an entire day online. The human nervous system was designed for authentic connection, not endless stimulation. Perhaps the most important lesson is this: loneliness is not a personal failure. It is often a signal, a biological message, a reminder that something essential is missing. And just as hunger motivates us to seek food, loneliness may motivate us to seek connection. The challenge is that modern technology often provides distraction instead of fulfillment, and the two are not the same. As we move deeper into the age of artificial intelligence, virtual reality, digital assistants, and algorithmic lifestyles, one question becomes increasingly important. Can technology replace human connection? The evidence so far suggests no. Technology can facilitate connection, but it cannot fully substitute for it. The nervous system still craves eye contact, voice, touch, empathy, presence, humanity. So perhaps the real crisis is not that people are alone. Perhaps the real crisis is that many people no longer feel known. And being known, being understood, being accepted, may be one of the most powerful medicines available. I'm Dr. Yende, this is OXYZEN Health Intelligence. And before I leave you with a question, when was the last time you had a conversation that lasted more than 30 minutes? With no phone, no notifications, no distractions, just genuine human connection. Let us know in the comments below. And if someone came to your mind while watching this episode, maybe send them a message today. You never know who might need it, and I'll see you in the next episode.